My name is Jeff Morgan. I am from Dallas, Texas. The Texas Constitution in Article 1, Section 18 says this: imprisonment for debt. No person shall ever be imprisoned for debt. No person shall ever be imprisoned for debt. Article 1, Section 19 of the Texas Constitution says this: deprivation of life, liberty, property, etc. by due course of law. No citizen of this state shall be deprived of life, liberty, property, privileges, or immunities, or in any manner disenfranchised, except by the due course of the law of the land. I'm speaking tonight on behalf of a friend of mine. His name is Josh Jaros. Josh Jaros is an outstanding father. Josh Jaros was a person who was planning to go into missions, who was going to be a youth minister, a man who loves his children. Today, he was thrown into jail. Why was he thrown into jail? Because he was unable to fulfill a debt. He was unable to pay the child support. The state of Texas ordered him to pay in a divorce that was granted to his wife against Josh's will. Unilateral, no-fault divorce. The state of Texas deprived him of his marriage without reason, without cause, purely statutorily. Deprived him of his marriage, deprived him of being a 100% father to his children. He had to fight to get 50-50 custody. And today, in Montgomery County, today in the state of Texas, Joshua Jaros was thrown into prison because of debt. Now, the state of Texas will never say that this is because of debt. They will call it contempt of court. The thugs in our government, and the thugs would be the judges, would be the people who pass laws like this, the criminal child support mafia, would say that he is in contempt of court. The reality is Joshua Jaros was unable to pay his child support. In a divorce that was against his will, child support that was ordered against him by a judge, as his rights to his marriage and to his children was deprived by a judge. This happens in the state of Texas. And by the way, this happens every day in the state of Texas. That somebody is divorced against their will. This happens every day in the state of Texas. That somebody has to be concerned about the Attorney General, the state of Texas, throwing them into prison for debt, which is falsely called contempt of court. Josh has not given me permission to speak. I'm not speaking with his blessing or consent. I'm speaking because I know Josh. I've talked with him personally. He was an outstanding person. He told me of the struggles that he had. And here's what the state of Texas has done to him. His parents, who live in Minnesota, used to send him their Social Security money to keep him out of prison. His parents in the state of Minnesota would send him Social Security money to keep him out of prison. Because the state of Texas, the family court mafia, the thugs in our court system, the judges, the thug politicians, the thug whatever it is, that have ordered these things to be taken from him, his marriage, access to his children, and then ordered him to pay for this privilege because they have made these unjust laws. I'm speaking on behalf of Josh because I know him. He's told me of his struggles. He's told me of the sacrifices he's made to be with his children, how he makes daily sacrifices. Whether when he gets to spend time with his children, he spends time with his children. He had to fight. He had to fight to get 50-50 shared parenting with his children. And I also talked with Josh about his divorce. It was a divorce that he did not want. He told me, Jeff, I would have done anything to keep my marriage. He did things like the love dare. He said, whatever you would have told me to do if it would have kept my marriage, I would have kept my marriage. But his wife filed for unilateral, no-fault divorce on the basis of insupportability. Insupportability, which has no definition in the Texas Family Code. Insupportability, which nobody even knows what it means. The whole statute should be repealed due to vagueness. Insupportability, and the judge takes an action against him that is criminal in the state of Texas, in the United States. Joshua Jaros was thrown into prison today because he could not pay his child support. A little over a year ago, I talked with Josh about some of the struggles that he faced as a father. And he said, Jeff, I don't even buy paper towels. I use my socks to do cleaning. I use my socks to do the dusting, and then I wash my socks, because he's trying to save money to be with his children. And he's trying to save money because of the family court rape, the financial rape that he experienced, and the financial rape that he experienced to be a father in his children's lives. By the way, his children love him very much. This is an action that was instituted by the state of Texas. This criminal action was instituted by the state of Texas and was enforced by the Office of the Attorney General. A few weeks ago, I was at a conference in which the first assistant attorney general stated that the attorney general's office is responsible for the child support enforcement collection for over 1 million children in the state of Texas. Over 1 million children. In the majority of these instances, the child support order is forced upon a person by a judge. And what the state of Texas will not tell you, that in the Texas Family Code, section 201.107, the judges are commanded to act in such a way as to maximize Title 4D funds to the state. Attorney General Ken Paxton spoke at a Tea Party rally that I videotaped, in which he talked about the state of Texas makes a lot of money off of Title 4D. The reason child support runs through the Attorney General's office is because if they collect the money, they get federal funds. The state of Texas is looking at divorce, is looking at child support as a way to collect money from the federal government. They are taking your children and using them to collect money. If you go to the Attorney General's website, if you look up Attorney General of Texas, child support evaders, you will see pictures of people that they put up because they've said these people are evading child support and they have become criminal. Many of these people are unable to pay, and many of these people have been ordered to pay child support for a child they cannot see on a daily basis, for a divorce they did not want. This is the criminal action in the state of Texas. Josh Jaros is in prison right now because of this thing, this criminal action that our state of Texas is saying. And yet the highest offices of the state of Texas will talk about what a wonderful program this is. Imagine Josh's 2 children who love him, knowing that their father is in jail right now because of the thuggery, the mafia action, the criminal actions taken against Josh by this judge. And by the way, there were 3 bailiffs to take a person who was going to be a missionary, who wanted to be a youth worker, a person who fears God, who loves his children. 3 bailiffs came into the courtroom today to cuff him and to take him into prison. Tell me how this is in the so-called best interest of the children. Because the state of Texas always says that they do things in the best interest of the children. We need to act in the best interest of the children. The state of Texas is lying to you. The judges are lying to you. The attorneys are lying to you, simply because nobody knows what the best interest of the child is. All of the experts that know about this topic will tell you nobody knows what the best interest of the child is. However, in our Texas state code, the best interest of the child somehow seems to align with the way that the judges do something so as to maximize Title 4D funding. The best interest of the child in the state of Texas is whatever makes Texas the most money. Again, our government calls this, we are caring for the children. How are you caring for a child when a mother or a father is thrown into jail because he or she cannot afford to pay your court-ordered child support, which was done in a divorce against his or her will, an unconstitutional divorce, a divorce that may have violated his religious liberty or her religious liberty, a divorce which deprived him or her of due process, and you have also violated not only Article 1, Section 18 of the Texas Constitution, which says imprisonment for debt, no person shall ever be imprisoned for debt, and Article 1, Section 19, deprivation of life, liberty, property, etc. by due course of law. No citizen of this state shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property, privileges or immunities, or in any manner disenfranchised except by due course of the law of the land. There is a difference between the due course of law and having due process protection and these criminal orders that are being issued by judges and being enforced by bailiffs, and that the Attorney General and his office can brag about. We have another weapon, and I've heard the Attorney General say this, talking about the weapons in his arsenal to collect child support. He is not looking out for the best interest of the child. Oh, he's pretending to. He's really looking out for the best financial interest of the state of Texas. We need to have some honesty about this. Child support is much more than money. When a person makes sacrifices to be with their children that they cannot see on a daily basis because divorce was illegally forced upon them by the state of Texas with a law that is completely unconstitutional, that completely deprives the person of due process. Simply, it is a legislative divorce. The legislature has said, oh, we're going to let anybody divorce anybody for any reason, for no reason, for a made-up reason. We'll take the kids and make the person who said, what just happened to me, we'll make him pay child support or her pay child support, or we will throw them in jail if they don't do it. But we won't call it debt for imprisonment. We'll call it contempt of court. These orders are illegal. These judges are thugs. And the state of Texas needs to get its act together. It is destroying fathers. It is destroying mothers. It is destroying children. Pretending that we're acting in the best interest of the child. Pretending that we are caring for children when we're throwing good parents, good mothers, and good fathers into jail simply because a judge gives an illegal order, gives a divorce to one person who wants it for any reason, for no reason, for a made-up reason. Perjury, again, remember, is not prosecuted in family court. A man who wanted to keep his marriage, who would have done anything to keep his marriage, a man whose parents were sending him Social Security money to keep him out of jail. I'm sorry, but in my opinion, the Office of the Attorney General, the judge, the bailiffs, the governor, every legislator who supports this stuff should be clothed with shame. And I personally am filled with disgust over what just happened today. I'm going to urge you to call up the Office of the Attorney General. I'm going to urge you to call the Office of the Governor. I'm going to urge you to call your newspapers, your legislators, your representatives. I don't care if you call the Attorney General of the United States, William Barr. I don't care if you send a letter or an email or somehow get in touch with the President of the United States. This whole corrupt system is destroying our family. It is not acting in the best interest of the children, which again, these people who are claiming the best interest of the child have no idea what it means. All they think about is how much money can be involved in this transfer. And by the way, make sure you run it through us so that we get our share. The state of Texas is using your children to collect money, and they're lying to you by calling it the best interest of the child. The state of Texas needs to fix itself. This is appalling, it's disgusting, it's horrific. I am completely disgusted with what happened today. And by the way, Harold Dutton should weigh in on this too. I mean, Harold Dutton was with Josh Jaros and his sons not too long ago. I saw a picture of them on Facebook together. Josh Jaros, a man who wants to do nothing more than be with his children, a man who was deprived of his marriage by illegal actions in the state of Texas. You're going to throw him in jail? This is shame upon shame. It's crime upon crime. It is tyrannical and abusive beyond belief.